back to Bloom. Dental care is so important. With the pandemic, many people have let their dental care slide, which can lead to terrible health consequences. Yet, you shouldn't be apprehensive now that dental offices have changed their infection control protocols based on COVID-19 to help keep patients safe during this pandemic. And joining us to discuss is family laser and cosmetic dentist Cindy Brayer with Creating Smiles Dental. Welcome to Bloom.
Thank you.
We're so excited to have you. And what are some of the major concerns that patients have right now?
Well, safety is their main concern. So while most of our patients are coming in and getting their work done, we do have a small amount of patients who are concerned about coming in because they don't want to get exposed to the coronavirus.
And how are you keeping patients safe? Because I understand you've put a lot of great protocols into place.
Yes, that's a great question. So in March, the governor closed down all dental offices due to the pandemic. And when we reopened in May, the Center for Disease Control had all these new guidelines for protocols to ensure that dental offices were safer upon reopening. And we have implemented these protocols to include curbside check-in and pre-screening our patients and taking their temperatures when they come. And then our staff, they make sure that they clean all their countertops and the door handles and wipe everything down in between patients. And so then when they come in, the patients go to the back and they'll notice there are barriers on all the chairs, all these plastic barriers to help with just keeping them safer basically. And when patients sit down in the chairs, then we give them a pre-screening rinse with hydrogen peroxide for a minute. And when we start working, then they get a dry shield, which is a suction device that suctions out 90% of aerosols, and the residual aerosol that is still in the air, we bought medical grade HEPA filtration units in every operatory to suction those out, as well as our air conditioning units now have UV light air purifiers in them to keep our air as clean and as safe as possible for our patients.
Wow, you really have gone above and beyond to keep your patients safe. That's incredible. So let me ask you, what dental effects have you seen with your patients during the pandemic?
So right now, patients are stressed. There's a lot of stress and anxiety going on. And so one of the things we've seen is TMJ problems. They're having a lot of problems with their jaw joints, clenching, grinding, they're having headaches. And, but with the clenching and grinding, so they're breaking teeth. So that's a huge thing we're seeing. We're probably seeing double the amount of that than normal. And so they're breaking teeth, they're also fracturing their crowns, breaking fillings and everything, so that's a big one. The second thing we're seeing is their cavities are getting bigger, so they're not coming to the dentist, and they're not cleaning so well at home and everything, and so the decay that used to be smaller now is getting larger, and then by the time they come in, they need root canals. And unfortunately, at that point, it's not just going to be a small filling anymore, And the third thing we're seeing would be periodontal disease, and gingivitis has increased during this pandemic because patients are not taking as good care of their teeth as they're sitting at home and working from home, so their routines have changed, and they may not be brushing in the morning when they get up. So unfortunately, those are things that are really concerning for us.
All right, we have just under a minute, but I wanted to ask you, especially with all the incredible protocols that you have in place, what would you tell a patient who's just a little bit apprehensive about coming in? I mean, after hearing what you said, I would be the first to sign up, but what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that compromise is the key, right? So on one hand, yes, I definitely understand their concerns, with the pandemic and everything. But on the other hand, they've got to maintain their oral health and everything. Otherwise, they're going to lose their teeth. So if they're concerned, then they need to make sure that their dentist is following the COVID guidelines. So when they should just call their dentist and ask them questions and make sure that they feel safe and comfortable going in. And after that, they need to get back in the door and start with their checkups, their cleanings, and any other necessary dental treatments.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all this valuable information and for keeping your patients so safe. And if you would like to visit Dr. Brayer's website for more information, you can go to Creating cdc-smiles.com. And for COVID information, visit cdc.gov. Plus, you can call Creating Smiles Dental in St. Petersburg at area code 727-323-0377, or Clearwater, the number there is 727-791-8823. Thank you so much, Dr. Brayer.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back with more Bloom right after this.